Well, in a previous video, another channel mentioned this channel, so I thought I'd come to some of their content. And I won't leave their name in the tags or anything, because what's the fucking point? I'm not after their views, I'm not after their subs. I'm giving my review, a reaction to some of their work. And yeah, we'll watch a bit of this video where they're basically going to a Mississippi ghost town. So, you know, with a lot of abandoned towns, you know, where there used to be a mining community. There's a few places in Wales like that, actually. A few like villages and that, which are no longer in use. A few places in Somerset as well. I live in Somerset in the UK. And we have a couple of abandoned villages because of World War II. And basically they're populated by American forces, and the locals left, or have since been, well, left or forced out, I suppose. But in any case, yes, let's give this a whirl. Yeah, so basically, I'm going to cut out a lot of this because if you want to watch their content, you watch their content, don't you? So get past the introduction. It's like they've gone out to this area. I imagine not, even in your waders. And all this in aid of getting to a abandoned town. So let's see there. Are they on dry land there? Yep. Looks like they could have taken a track. Never mind. That's the funny thing with a lot of stuff like this, and this is, you know, this is why I do these videos, is to ramble, basically. It's a funny thing with this kind of thing, where people will say, oh yeah, the phenomena's here, phenomena's there. Stuff like this happens. It creates a sort of like an atmos, you know, regarding the location, regarding the story, expectation, people likely, you know, creating similar experiences. People tend to be freaked out by very similar things. We have certain shared cultural norms. And as a result, a lot of these things are commonly quite spooky. Oh, it's quite a modern building. As in modern looking, not as in modern construct, but... Okay, let's move beyond that. So we're in that building. Obviously, if you want to see the full video, go and check out their content. I won't watch this all the way until the end, because I don't want to effectively just copy just the best bits of their video. And I'm not using editing in my video, I'm just rambling, showing my thoughts about some of the things that go on. People pottering around in old abandoned buildings seems a little bit peculiar to me, but it's interesting nonetheless. When was this video made? Because, you know, yeah, made like March 2020. So yeah, yes, they are known to carry diseases in 2020. Need I say more? Is that a bat? Well, let's skip forward a bit and see if we get some interesting phenomena. So they just had something happen. So, oh, that's a good thing. There's a title there. Okay, let's give this a go. Should be interesting. The aggression. Okay. Well, that seemed like, or it was meant to seem like, or made to seem like, whatever the case may be, it seemed a little bit like feet marching down the stairs. Or, you know, a person going down the stairs. So boom, 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 you know? I mean, if that's genuine, as opposed to them just being entertainers, because if you see their channel, they're quite entertaining, that would be really freaky, wouldn't it? And, you know, I like to doubt these things very often, but I don't really have an explanation. I could, you know, through conjecture, you know, just pure speculation, go, what are these guys like? What do they do? Are they trying to create entertaining content? Are they taking the sound of their previous walk down the stairs, say if one of them went down the stairs in that way, and they just simply recorded it and put it over the video at that point as an editing kind of method? Or could it be that, okay, if we get into the realm of possibility, could it be that, although I don't consider it to be probable, the stairs basically were all kind of pushed and they all creaked back up? No, I don't think that's very plausible. I just think there's two explanations. Something which we can't explain, or they did it through some kind of editing or noise creating method, either at the location, after the location in terms of editing. So yeah, interesting, but it doesn't really answer too many questions for me.
Footsteps sounded loud, aggressive, and once it reached the bottom of the steps, I felt a breeze blow past me, and Tanner said he felt heat inside of his chest.
I'd quite like going there. You know, I think it's one of those things with a place like that, I wouldn't mind going there because I'm not just trekking through woods and, you know, potentially, you know, within feet of a bear or some kind of crazy person. So, yeah, in the scale of things, not too bad. I'd like to see, does it repeat itself? Does it happen regularly? Would there be any other responses? Would you capture anything on video? Not just simply the audio of what sounds a bit like. It sounds a lot like, in fact. Feet going down the stairs. It's interesting.
We had to kind of talk each other down a little bit off the ledge. So even after experiencing that type of extreme activity, our hearts were going 100 miles per hour. Both freaked out. We knew it.
I think my main problem with these shows is, very much like the ones on TV, they're trying to create an audience. So with phenomena like that, I'm automatically on edge, like, I doubt this is real. I doubt it could be real. And the main reason is for that, because very often these people are trying to get a show. And if True TV or whoever pick it up, it could become something which, goes viral. Well, it goes more than viral. Ends up on mainstream television as opposed to as a channel, series on YouTube.
We had to stay. We knew we had to investigate the other 2 locations we came for, or else we regret it. There's 2 other locations that we wanted to.
So, see what else they get.
Even though I really didn't want to go by myself at that point in time, I knew that it was the most time-efficient decision. We wanted to get out of there. We wanted to hurry up and get this location done. Tanner decided to go to the cemetery. I went to the abandoned church.
That's cool. Hopefully I'm not cutting out anything interesting by skipping forward again. Yep, the graveyard has seen better days. Be careful you don't skewer yourself on a fence.
Hey, I'm in the church now. I'm about to go up some stairs. It looks pretty rickety. Can you please communicate with me again?
Yeah, I think I'm going to move on. This particular video, it's not terrible, it's not all that bad, but, I'm not so keen on this kind of paranormal stuff where they're going around. They may have got something, they might have got something, they hear a noise, they get one piece of phenomena, and one piece of interesting phenomena, and the rest is debatable. So, just poke through a bit more. And then we'll call this review yeah, I think we'll move on. On my previous video I was doing some response to this. We'll watch one more story on this one, then we'll move on completely, because I don't know, they just borrowed their content. Although they do a lot of interesting videos. And what a lot of entertainment channels do, because it's a good way of proceeding, especially if you want a strong audience, is to remain agnostic, about the whole thing. Hey, what do you think? Do you think there could be something here? We can't explain this, but perhaps you can. What are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments section, etc. That's the way these channels tend to operate. But let's get on to the next story, because we did a couple of stories before.
This next clip is one of those obscure videos that's been on the internet for years, but not too many people have seen it. Now, the story goes that a guy named Mike had been seeing something walking near the tree line of the woods that surround his home. One flashlight and go to investigate.
That's a fox.
So this is a pretty old video, and even though I researched, I can't even confirm the original source. But it's definitely creepy, and I don't know what that is.
Looks like a nub on a tree. Does it move?
Is it a real creature caught on camera, or just a fake? As always, you decide.
Okay, maybe there's some stuff illuminated there. Let's look over this again. See if it's actually worth pondering as even being something interesting. Well, it looks like some more branches are illuminated, or perhaps some wood, a fallen branch or something in the background, not very clearly. Could it be a person? Well, I don't know, maybe. The sound, though, the kind of screeching sound, sounds just like similar noises I've heard before with, I think, foxes, as I recall. So, yeah, you know, it's not implausible that there was simply a bit of trickery going on. The sound seemed like it was there. It could have been added afterwards, I suppose. But, yeah, I'm not so sure about what they claim to have seen, or the video seems to show.
So this is a pretty old video, and even though I researched, I can't even confirm the original source.
It's very clear, is it? You see that it looks like more has been illuminated as the camera and indeed the light has changed perspective, as opposed to anything more interesting. Just roll back a little bit and get it just right.
I don't know what that is. So, is it a real creature caught on camera, or just a fake? Yep, as always.
Yeah, it looks like the perspective changed a little. So there's a little bit of a, perhaps it's part of a fallen branch. That little thing they thought was a head was a bit of a nubbin, kind of where the branch is broken off. You've still got that down there, so it's a low branch on a, not necessarily a big tree. I mean, it's big enough, but, you know, it's not a huge tree. And, yeah, the stuff hanging down, it isn't like spindly arms or anything, like some kind of urban legend. It's more likely to be something explainable like the branch, which hasn't fully broken away from where it snapped off, or didn't fully snap off. So, yeah, you know, it's debatable. Someone's going to say it's definitely this or definitely that. But, yeah, in any case, I doubt it. I doubt it. Let's move on to another video. Okay, I'm watching another one of these on this channel, and it's from 2017, so, you know, they're not to find my video, my review, because I'm not using their name in the tags. I'm not here to steal people's views, just simply to give my review. So this video is Scary Ghost Videos Caught on Camera. Appropriate. Let's watch it. I'll lower that a bit. It's a bit loud. This one's actually kind of funny. I've seen it before. And what was that? It looked like some kind of dummy sort of thing with a baby head, you know. I think this is why you get those sort of like, you know, redneck kind of paranormal investigators who go out with guns. You know, they've got a right to, you know, conceal carry or whatever, and they basically, you know, if I'm going out there just in case there is something that, you know, might do me harm and I, you know, need a gun, they'll have a gun. But other people are just like going out there and, You know, they could be engaging with anything, but I think most of these sorts of things are basically fake, to be honest.
Now, something of interest here.
Go on.
The figure in the video has to crouch down to fit through the doorway. This would mean that the person, ghost star, whatever this is, had to be around 7 feet tall or more. Today, 16 years later, two men who recorded the video still claim that the footage is 100% real.
I mean, you can't really make it out. I mean, despite the quality, you can't really make out what's going on. Is that a person? Is it some kind of, I don't know, cloth-covered kind of thing, like a person wearing a costume or something? You just don't know. It's the problem. The lack of data. And it's like, if you went back, you probably wouldn't find shit. You know? So, yeah.
Sean Robinson has been posting YouTube videos for over 7 years of a painting that he claims is haunted. According to Sean, the painting, named The Anguished Man, has a dark history. It was painted by a mentally disturbed man who committed suicide shortly after completing it. Sean claims that every time he gets the painting out of his attic storage, strange things begin to happen around his house. So, I'm going to set the recording equipment, lay these photographs on the HEADLESS, and leave the light on.
Sounds like someone's gut to me. Sounds like maybe they eat too much cheese. Okay, you don't really see that very well. There are ways of closing doors like that. You know, so a little bit of doubt there. So there are numerous camera angles, apparently. That's not exactly difficult to do.
Sean has only posted 8 videos to his YouTube channel. He says that between filmings, the painting is kept securely locked away in his attic.
He could be doing that for attention. He could be doing that because he believes it, and you know, he doesn't necessarily believe he's just doing it for attention. There could be something unexplained going on, sure. And I don't think it says much that, oh right, it's a small channel, only so many videos. You know, if it's his real identity and that's his real painting, and it's like, okay, the story's correct. It's interesting. I don't think it really tells us much, but Headless Haunting. Oh, I've seen this one before.
Then one of the boys mentions in Arabic that his phone that had been fully charged was now about to shut off. Right after he says this, the cameraman nonchalantly pans around an abandoned classroom. Just then a call to prayer can be heard from a nearby mosque. The camera catches this strange footage.
It's quite interesting. Something comes towards the camera in a second. See that? They don't actually show you the full thing. Like, was that one of their friends who was out of the way, and because of the low quality of the video, they weren't clear? You know, it seemed like there's a shadow there, but it's kind of blurred out by the brightness of the light outside, almost certainly facing towards, well, something very bright. There's a lot of high ISO. They're in a darkened room. So, yeah, looking back, just going back about here, was it? See about there? It's like their friend is coming over. It looks like a blur because of the low quality of the video and the way a long shutter speed can work. It leaves a blur because you're not collecting everything in a singular like moment. It's more like a second. So everything gets a bit ghosty. And in fact, I've seen that with my own photography, videography, when I've tested it out. So it could be something that is, you know, just that simple, explained away. Because it's low quality video, probably recorded on a early smartphone or some kind of mobile with an early camera device. Very, very basic video. Like the photos are probably only a couple of megapixels. So, yeah, it's debatable.
Headless apparition with their naked eye and had no reaction. It was only later, when watching the footage back, that they noticed the chilling figure in the video.
In which case, why wouldn't they notice it's their friend, you know? Well, that's the thing you'd probably ask me in the comments. I don't know. It could be that it wasn't their friend. It was actually an apparition. It could be that it was something appearing on the video. It could be they simply forgot. They could have been going around there for a couple of hours. They didn't think about it much. They went through the footage afterwards. And, yeah. They got something which they couldn't explain. They thought, that doesn't look like any of us, the way it looks. It looks like it isn't a physical person, perhaps. So they attribute that to a ghost, even though it might not be a ghost. And even though it's allegedly from Iraq, and it probably is, at least the original footage is, how many levels has it gone through? How many re-uploads? There's a whole bunch of problems with a lot of this footage. And I'm not saying you should dismiss it. I'm saying there's room for doubt. You know, there's room for doubt. When we don't know, we don't know. Bedfordshire. Oh, I wish Americans would get that right. Bedfordshire. You know, Bedfordshire. 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 Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, I don't care. It's pronunciation. So, quite clear CCTV. Is there some kind of moving phenomena or some presence that appears? Might move on to another video soon. Chair moves. You don't see that part of the image. Do the chairs move? Okay, something whips off there.
Now, if this scene were being faked with multiple hoaxers pulling fishing line or strings, it seems like it might attract a little more attention from the other diners.
Maybe. Depends how it's done. And it's done fairly quickly. And are these people actually other diners? Are they part of a, thing? I mean, funny thing is, a lot of footage that's considered to be paranormal is surplus footage and sometimes lost footage from films, or concept footage. We tried out this, we tried out that. It was going to be in Paranormal Activity or some other production or the Italian Paranormal Activity or whatever. It's a thing that can happen. So, yeah. I'm not hugely convinced. Some movement can be faked. Saying it isn't because there's people nearby having their meals at this kind of food court sort of place or whatever it is. It's debatable. It's debatable. Anyway, if you want to watch the rest of this video, you can do. We are going to move on to another video. What's this one? Load. Bear with. Right, it's going slow loading then, but now it's loaded. It's Real Ghost Caught on Tape. Top 5 Real Ghost Videos 2017. Presumably these are different. Some of these I've actually seen before, because I can see the thumbnail. It's that thing here, where it's like in a attic. So I've seen that before, reviewed it. We'll watch one more of these and then finish this video. And then we will move on to another video, I suppose.
Top 5 ghosts caught on tape. There appears to be a strange black shape climbing the prison wall and even passing back and forth through the concrete surface. Some of the prison staff and inmates believe the dark figure to be the soul of a murdered inmate. However,
is it passing through concrete? It looks like something was moving there. And there's a lot of stuff hanging out. Is this meant to be clothes hanging out? Is this like the hanging lines for clothing? So that's debatable. Let's go back a little bit so we can see that again.
guards caught the frightening
Yeah, someone comes up, perhaps, in the dark, moving like a person. Looks like there's something there they could have moved behind. And is that like some kind of, I don't know, is that some kind of doorway or something? I don't know. Whatever it is, there's a similar dark area over there. I don't know if it's the same sort of thing. Looks like there could be another explanation. Some of these we've seen before. There's a cupboard that opens, right? And I don't need to have the commentary there. And they do another video, and there's a bit of a fakery that goes on, when they have someone come over. It looks like there's a person beyond the door. This kind of thing can be easily faked. It's like legs. You get a face up against the glass. When you open it, it's just the cupboard. But apparently it's a thing you can easily fake. See? Ooh. You see the way that phased out? I think, did I mention that last time I did this? Zooms in. See the way that faded out? It wasn't just like it was going back, it was like it was given a bit of a digital fade. Worth mentioning. This is one we've seen before. I think we're going to change video in the future. A lot of these ones are very repetitive. So trying to avoid repetition, I shall move on to the next part.